Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the TTS Surgery. Let's go. Today we've got an exclusive interview with the one and only Cliche.
Yeah.
What's going on, my bro?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right. So this is an exciting one. We're going to get into Cliché's life. We're going to get into what he does now. And it's a particularly inspirational one. And I like it when I talk to people with sense in their mind and a good, pure heart in their chest. You know what I'm saying? And I think that applies to you. And again, with talent, you know? So Cliche, for those that don't know, who is Cliche? What's your story?
Half Japanese, half Ghanaian.
That's a mix, you know?
Yeah.
Do you get Samoan a lot?
So, yeah, all the time, Filipino. But grew up in South London, Lewisham. Yeah, man, I had a good education, had a good family growing up.
Did you grow up with both cultures simultaneously, or did you go stronger in one?
To be honest, I think I learnt more of my mum's culture, Japanese culture.
Okay.
Yeah. I go to Japan like every year.
Nice.
Sometimes twice a year. But I feel like living in South London, there's not much Japanese stuff going on.
Yeah.
So naturally, my friends
Any Japanese?
Yeah, I got A level in that.
Yeah. So how's that like? Honestly, like, you know, it's a sensitive one. But what is it like? Because I know obviously the typical mix is, you know, black and white, right?
And white, yeah.
And I know a lot of my mixed race friends and a lot of mixed race people say, man, it's like we love it because we know we're black and we know we're white, but sometimes there's like rejection from this one, rejection from that one. And how do you deal with things like that? Have you faced any not rejection, but have you faced any issues?
I faced like people moving a bit different, not really like accepting me, bringing me in as such. But I just feel like growing up, I've just learned to adapt.
Yeah.
So even as a child, like secondary school, I used to go to a grammar school in Kent, in Bexley, predominantly white school. So coming from South London, I've had to learn how to adapt now in a grammar school for the middle class white people. Then I got to learn how to adapt in Japan around Japanese people. So growing up, I've had to learn how to handle myself or how to portray myself in certain different environments.
I love the fact that you said your mum takes you to Japan.
A lot still.
That's beautiful because you get to learn that as well.
Of course.
I need to ask, have you been to Ghana?
God, I've been once. Yeah. My dad took me once.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 weeks though.
Uncle to you need to
to
go
bring
again.
back. Yeah, I need to go back.
You went for 6 weeks?
Went for 6 weeks.
No, that's good.
I went for a while still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you know the foods in both sides.
Foods,
like that,
yeah.
All right. Oh no, we're not even. What's better? What's better? What food is better?
Food.
Yeah.
Boy.
Because you know what, I'm not gonna hold you. Japanese
food
is nice.
Yeah, I had Japanese food like 2 days ago. Yeah, I can't lie. I think I don't know much Ghanaian food. My dad hasn't shown me that much, but Japanese food I like. Yeah.
Nah, don't worry, we're gonna go Kate's in Plaster. We'll get you onto the wache and them things there. Yeah? But nah, I love it. So I know you've got a crazy story to tell. You know, a story of reformation, and a story of where you've had to suffer for something that is quite, that wasn't you, and then you've come out on the other end. Can you tell us about that? What we're talking about, joint enterprise, by the way.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you got into that position?
Yeah. So I'll break it down. I won't break it down as much because it would be here for a while. But when I was 15, from when I was 14, I'd say like I was hanging around with like people involved in the roads, gangs. I used to say I wasn't really in a gang, but I was in a gang. Do you get what I'm saying? I was in a gang. I didn't really know why I was in a gang.
Proximity, just because these are the people you hung around with when
you were young. Do you know what it is? It initially started off as hanging around, but then it got to a point where, like, I'll be honest, like I wanted to be in the gang. Do you get what I'm saying? I wanted to like represent the gang as well. So I was running around South London, Lewisham, in a gang. And then one day, just my friend I got a phone call from my friend. He said he got confronted by 2 boys at his school. My friend was 15 at the time. I was 15 at the time. And like I didn't think anything of it, but I just knew, we're just gonna go confront them.
Your friend's in trouble.
My friend's in trouble.
Back up your friend,
seems like normal. This actual incident, it wasn't really like it wasn't gang related. It was more like school beef, school altercation. And we've gone along. We've got a bus to this other area to face these boys. And then when we've got there, like it's like they were waiting for us. There was like a group of them, like a good nearly 20 of them. They had swords, they had machetes, they had knives. They were waiting for us. And a situation of schoolboys, because we were all in our uniform, like school finished, we were straight there, like we had school bags and that. And then it went from like a school fight to there's swords, there's machetes, and there's just a lot of running around, a lot of chasing. And long story short,
that's a shame.
Yeah, it was a shame, man. Long story short, it kind of just changed the whole dynamics of what we went for to now. It's like, it's life or death, literally. And unfortunately, one young boy, he lost his life. He was 16 at the time. It's because he got segregated from his group. He was from the other group, the opposing group. He got segregated from his friends, and 3 people from my group, they literally chased after him, and the guy at the front stabbed him in his back once, killed the boy, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. And that was the actual incident that caused 7 of us to be found guilty for murder. 7 people, yeah. So it was one stabbing from one guy.
Yeah.
The police knew this, the prosecution knew this, everyone, the courts knew this. He was on camera doing it. But what the prosecution were trying to push in the courts were, we were all just as responsible for this murder due to the fact that we travelled out.
I'm gonna pause you there because I just wanna. So for those people that don't know, and I'll actually recommend a book by a former member of the Teacher Surgery, Emeka Bonsu. Which I read. Is it called My Brother's Pain? I think it is. And I read that book, and he talks about joint enterprise. For those that don't know, joint enterprise is as it sounds, where police. It's a really controversial act because the police say it's them trying to intervene with gang culture. So if somebody does a crime, they will try and prosecute the whole gang and people involved with that crime. But what it's doing, it's a lot of people. It's prosecuting a lot of people that were not involved directly in a crime. Like he said, in your case, you was a schoolboy going to go to a school fight, which people do up and down the country that are not involved in gangs, and then it's escalated, and then it's gone on to you now being prosecuted for
murder. Yeah, and I forgot to say, when the actual stabbing took place, I wasn't even there when it happened. Like, I went along with my friends. I was in the area, but where I said the boy was segregated and he was left, and 3 of my people that I was with chased him, he ended up in like another part of the area where only those 3 were with him. So I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. The rest of us didn't see it. The rest of us weren't there, but we all got sent down for it. Literally, we all got found guilty. And we got a range of sentences. The guy that done the murder got 15 years. The guy right beside him got 14. Another guy the 3rd guy actually got a lesser charge of manslaughter. And then me, I got sentenced to 12 years. 12 years life. I got a minimum of 12. I got that when I was 16. So literally, I done the whole 12.
You done the whole 12?
Yeah, I did. I served the whole 12 years in jail.
Oh my goodness.
I came out at 28 years old. I just turned 30 2 days ago, but I've been out of jail for about 18 months now.
Happy belated, bro.
Thank
18
you.
months, you said, yeah?
18 months, yeah. Thank you.
And we're gonna get onto the stuff you've been doing since you came out of jail, right? And you know, it's similar to a story we had. Another brother that we interviewed called Beans.
Yeah, I know Beans.
Yeah. And he done 10 years, but he was actually guilty of. He directly whatever. It's a bit different, but we're gonna get onto the reformation part of your story, right? But it's heartbreaking, bro. Because I'm thinking, I've been 16. I've been everyone, even people that are not young boys, like family members with sons and nephews, and I'm just thinking, you go to do what most boys do at that age, which is we fight in school, and then because of the actions of another, and you don't have a clue. You don't know, and you know what? Let me just be the first to say R.I.P. to the young boy that died. As well.
Yeah, of course.
This is not any. I'm not excusing. You know what? The boy that did it. We understand the circumstances that led to that, but the boy that did it, and maybe those 3 directly involved, that's one thing. But for you to just be in a group fight and then lose 12 years of your life, how was that? I mean, what was the degree of like thinking? Because if I was you, I'd be thinking, I'm not involved. And then when did it become real? And then how was that like when it's like, oh, this is actually happening?
I'll be honest with you, because I was young, I just felt like even when I got arrested, got bail, I actually got remanded. Even at one point, so remand is when you go to prison awaiting trial. I got remanded, so now I'm in jail, but I'm still thinking, I didn't do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was stressed, but I was thinking like God is watching.
That's what I'm
God
saying.
is great. Like I'm not gonna go down for this. Do you
That's
know what
what
I'm
I'll be
saying?
thinking. Yeah.
And then when it really sunk in was when I got found guilty on trial. When
Is
I
it
heard
up until the guilty charge that you were actually thinking?
like I didn't even pack a prison bag or anything because I was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm still religious, but them times I was going to church. Like everyone's saying, listen, this will never happen. Do you know what I mean? And I got found guilty, and that's when I was like, wow, like I'm actually gonna do like a long time in jail for this. Do you know what I'm saying? And then see, being 16, getting told you're gonna do 12 years in jail, it was quite hard to get my head around it because I've only been alive for 16. You're telling me I'm gonna do 12 in a box, like so. Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, but
and again, it's like you're going through. Listen, I'm gonna use you as an example, right? To people, just like to the young boys, be careful because that's at that age. What was I thinking of when I was 16? Girls, going out, fun, enjoying.
Of course.
That critical age and being locked up, it's not fun. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna ask you, what was prison like?
Prison, it was mad, didn't it? Like,
did you go to a youth offender?
Yeah. So when I first went in, I went to like juveniles, which is under 18s.
Yeah.
And like all I can say is like, it's like a boarding school. Everyone wants to be bad, and literally like to fight is survival. Like fighting over food, you're fighting over everything, fighting over who's sitting in your chair. Do you know what I mean? So like that's how I've had to mature. I've had to mature and grow up in that environment. That's not even a realistic environment. But turned 18, went to the young offenders, done that for 3 years. And when you turn 21, you go to adult jail. And then now you're with prisoners, all ages, like up to 80, whatever. And like,
so you've seen all three
I've
stages?
seen all three, literally.
What was the worst one? You said the juvenile one probably.
Do you know what it is? The worst one for me, the juvenile ones, because there was a lot of violence, but I did a year in Liverpool jail. And I'd say Liverpool was probably the worst because I felt like it's the first time like I'm literally on my own. Like before I had them and status will keep people away from me. Do you know what I mean? In Liverpool, no one knew me, so I literally had to start from scratch. And like I think that was the first time I realised I actually had to fend for myself. Like I was 22, I had quite a few altercations, and then people tried to stab me and stuff. But I made it through it. Did a year there, got my Cat C, and started to come back down south, like down towards London. Yeah.
And you said you spent time in jail until 29?
28, yeah. 28, yeah.
Jeez, man. And birthdays?
Many birthdays, man.
What was it like for your mum?
Mum, it was horrible, man.
Oh, man, I can't imagine.
Yeah, like even when I got found guilty, like it was a shock to everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously with my mum, Japanese culture, this stuff's unheard of. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting arrested is unheard of. Like it's not a thing.
She's quite conservative, like
she's very do you know what I'm saying? But she's happy in it. Like I'm out now. She's still here. You know, she's seeing what I'm doing, and she's proud. Do you know what I'm saying?
And what is it? What is Cliche doing now?
Cliche. So now,
I always ask the name Cliche.
Cliche.
So
basically the cliche is like when something's expected or something like a stereotype or that's a cliche, like something that's obvious. So I just feel like with my life, I've always dabbled in different lives. Like, you know, I go to a grammar school in Kent, but then when I'm back in the ends, I'm with a man them. So I've never really fit like a box. I've always been a few boxes. Do you get what I mean? So like even in prison, like I used to do like music. I used to do R&B music.
Okay.
And I'd sing in a band.
Yeah.
But then when I'm back on the wing, I'm with a man them.
Okay.
Do you get me? Yeah. So I was always like from two worlds in one.
Do you still sing? 'Cause I know
I still sing now. Yeah. Do you know what it is? I'm known for rapping, but I'm trying to show them I can sing now.
You
so
can do both. You
I
can do
can
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cliche does sound like an R&B name. Though,
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
honest,
That when I made it, I was doing R&B love
yeah,
songs and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
Because
literally.
not many man on the wing.
Nah,
are known as it's like
J Hoods.
yeah.
J bang
yeah,
J. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Something a bit more road.
Did you get any stick for that?
I'll be real with you. I didn't, you know,
Yeah.
because people knew me in
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
they're just it's always different.
Did
Yeah.
you see that you got unfortunately it is a part of the culture, but was there any reinforcement with anything like that with your name? I mean, with what you've done, going to prison, did you get like street credibility and respect for these things?
I'll be honest with you, you do, but what does that mean? What does it actually mean?
Like
Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of these youths, they want to like run around, do things for their ends, but you see when you go jail, like no one cares. Like everyone
Did you
says,
get any people keeping in contact?
like,
Because
yeah,
at this point you're secondary school, right?
yeah.
So are you in contact with like your boys from then?
I'll be honest with you, the people that stayed in contact with me, they actually weren't their gang members.
I've heard this so many
Do you
times.
get what I'm saying? And like you get good people that you weren't really close with reach out to you, and it makes you think, wow, like, I didn't expect a letter from him.
Yeah.
I didn't expect her to say, can I visit you? Because we weren't close like that. But this is when you're young, you don't realize like good people are good people. Whether you're close or not, when you go jail or something happens, they're the ones with the good hearts. They will reach out to you.
I can't remember what podcast it was. It's a prison podcast. I apologize, but I had I think it was a prison one. I can't remember who it was, but someone that done a long time said that. Funnily enough, when he went jail, it's not the his fellow bangers that wrote to him or sent him money. It was the civilians that he went to school with, people that he was at school with.
I had people from my grammar school visiting me in jail, and I'm thinking these lot are like, they don't even know this life.
Yeah.
But they heard, oh, he's in jail, didn't do it, and they felt it, and if they're driving, man, them it's like who's next? You get me?
It's for me. I've always been confused at that side of things because we say we're gonna die for the block, we're gonna die for the man, then we're gonna ride for the man, then we're gonna risk our lives in jail for the man, then. But when they go, it's like
sadly, you know that saying, no honor amongst thieves.
Yeah.
That's the maddest thing. It's like we sometimes forget, even though we look at certain people as man them or they're my friends. You need to remember, like, they're out here doing crimes. They're not exactly like good, heartwarming people. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? So when we're in jail and we expect them to be amazing people that are gonna do, like, bro, they're out here doing crimes. We forget this, innit?
Become a bit desensitized.
And
there's not much room for love.
It becomes normal, innit? Do you know what I mean? Someone goes jail, it's like, he's in jail, whatever. Like, who are we gonna recruit next? Especially with the young youths that get groomed into things. As soon as you go jail, you're just replaced. Unfortunately, do you know what I'm saying?
So again, what is some of your actions now?
Now, I'm a firm believer. Like, I push the message. So with this whole joint enterprise thing, joint enterprise law is still around. There was they said they abolished it in 2016, but it was never really abolished. It was just renamed almost. And
what was it renamed to?
I can't remember the exact names.
We'll
it was renamed, and it was just almost rewritten for it's another loophole that the government have done. Do you get it? But so what I do now, I push the message. So I tell people my story. So I go into schools. I've gone into Peru. I've gone into a school recently. I was actually doing a workshop at a school, South Bank University Academy.
Okay.
It's in Woolworth. And literally I was there for like 8 weeks, and I'm teaching year 7s and year 8s creative writing and storytelling. But aside from that, like, I'm more there to like show. I'm showing them like the real side of like when people are on the roads and you go jail and you think everything's sweet. Like, you know, once you go prison, like no one really cares about you. Do you get what I'm saying? People just move on with life, and like a lot of people only find out, unfortunately, when it's too late. Do you get what I'm saying? And I do podcasts, and for me, it's like I'm raising awareness about joint enterprise. I want kids to like understand like who I hang around with could literally like dictate where I'm going to be for the next 15, 20 years. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. And that's a message I've seen many people talk about, you know, like, and I want kids and even parents just being at the wrong place at the wrong time can literally get you.
Literally, like,
and change your life.
And like when I go into these schools and I speak to these children, like, I want them to take in what I'm saying, but at the same time, I want him to like see what I've been through and see what I'm doing now and kind of like just feel inspired, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I've had people say to me like, I felt low or I've been in these predicaments, but when I've heard your story, it made me feel like I got no excuse. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you've gone to jail for 12 years and you're still smiling. So sometimes I realize my story alone can uplift people, which is nice. So I just keep pushing the message. I go to schools, I go to unis, I go on these podcasts, and hopefully like I've influenced more than one person to
Listen, keep doing, because you see your energy is actually really positive.
No, thank you.
And beings have that in common as well.
Thank you.
It's no coincidence. You've done that, and I can only know the trauma and the pain you put behind you, but there's so much positivity and like good vibrations in you. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing that, and like they say, real recognize real.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes you guys are the best to talk to the kids then. You know what I mean? And even in your music career stops, you know what I'm saying? Next time I'm with my girl, I'm gonna put on that Cliche CD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, listen, tell them where we can find you. And plug in
find me on the socials, Instagram Cliche1, TikTok Cliche1.
But it's spelled, it's not.
So so it's spelled not like the dictionary way. Cliche, CLEESHAY, and just one, literally Cliche1. And you'll just see me.
All right,
see me about. Thank you.
All right, Cliche, it's been a pleasure to interview,
Thank
man.
you. It's been.
Keep doing your thing.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, nice one. All right, that's another episode. That's done. Thank you.